I'm here with session guitarist Tommy Webb, who's a guitarist for the Marshall record label, amongst other people and other artists, and also a keen educator and a fan of using the Rock School guitar syllabus. We've been here finding tones all day at the Marshall studio. We started with some blues tones. We started with a bit of B.B. King, and then we've moved to a slightly more distorted, grittier blues tone, so more reminiscent of Muddy Waters. If you're a blues fan, you will have come across Muddy Waters and other blues artists that do use a more distorted, gritty sound. And certainly if you've been studying the Rock School guitar syllabus, you will have probably played Hoochie Coochie Man, which is a great classic blues song. So, Tommy, tell us a little bit about how we tried to recreate that sort of classic blues sound, a little bit about the amp, and then how we enhanced the tone of the amp with some pedals.
So yeah, with this amp, as we said before, it's all the gain comes from the volume coming up, which we didn't use for this song. We used a secondary pedal, but if you've got an amp at home with an overdrive channel, I'd suggest turn it to the overdrive channel. And then in terms of the EQ, we rolled the bass back a little bit. The mid stayed just past 12, and then the treble came up to about 12 or 1 o'clock, just to give it that harshness, but not too much that it gets too tinny. Yeah. And then yeah, a bit of reverb. We turned the reverb down, so if your amp, this one doesn't, but if yours does have a reverb, reining it back a bit to maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, just for a bit of effect, but we don't want it too smooth, more short and sharp kind of reverb.
Just to give it a bit of space, but
yeah,
not drown it.
So yeah, slightly harsher, more trebly sound. The gain coming from the pedal, but if yours has an overdrive, again, maybe like 10 o'clock. So you don't want it completely metal, but just enough where it's got some sustain and some compression.
Great. So tell us about the guitar that we used to create that sound. There's many guitars we could have used, but we went again with the Les Paul.
Yeah, so I think with this style, everyone uses something different. There's no one guitar. Yeah. So it's your preferences, what you feel like that day. It's not really, this is what you have to use. But yeah, we stuck with the Les Paul using the bridge pickup. So putting the pickup selector all the way down just gives us a bit more treble, and it lets the notes cut through the distortion and the compression a bit more. Otherwise it gets a bit too muddy and a bit too muffled. Again, the volume and the tone on 10. And then if you're using a Strat or a Telecaster, I'd say on the bridge as well, just to cut through that distortion.
So the other element that we really added in, as well as the guitar and the amp, was a pedal, which lots of people have got. Lots of people have got pedals at home. Some people have one or two. Pretty quickly, guitarists certainly turn the 1 to 2 to 10 or 20. We tend to collect pedals, but they're a great way to change your sound. So what did we do with the pedal to just get us closer to that Muddy Waters sound?
So the amp was relatively clean, but we used the pedal to add some grit and some compression. And with it, we had the gain here, not too high, just around 12, just a little bit past, and rolling back the volume to match it of the amp as it was before. So you're not really trying to push it too much, it's just a little bit of colour and a bit more compression, which for this amp we could only get if we turned it up. Yeah. So for home use, these are great to get that sound, more distorted but without annoying the neighbours kind of thing.
Yeah. Tommy made a really good point about matching the volume of your pedal. So whether you've got the volume at 12 o'clock, that might be the exact point at which, when you turn it on and turn it off, it's the same volume, but it might not be. Every pedal is different. For example, the Blues Breaker, you really have to turn the volume quite far round to match it when you're turning it on and off. Your particular distortion pedal at home might be very different. It might be below 12 o'clock, it might be 9 o'clock that the volume is matched. So try, experiment, find the right place to adjust that volume control. Turn it on, turn it off. Once you've matched the volume, then you can use the gain to really dial in that classic blues sound. A little bit of light distortion, some grit to give you that Muddy Waters sound. So we're going to listen to Tommy playing some solo blues phrases in that Muddy Waters style, and then we're going to have a good old-fashioned blues jam to finish up.